Good evening, guys.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
First of all, there are a couple of updates. One is I hope both of you can find the session links for the first 14 sessions is already available. Should be already available there, right? Do you see the article?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Dates have been given.
Yeah. So February 2nd we are starting, right? The first session is on February 2nd, Thursday. That is, I guess.
Yes, sir.
So a couple of updates. One update is that. Second is that we have extended the number of sessions. So there will be a total of 100, not the initial plan 82. So it will go up to September end, the practice sessions. Same idea, every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, except for certain breaks at certain period. But mostly it will continue frequently, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, alternate between different things. So this idea I've already discussed with both of you, but just going through it quickly. So as I said, new number, 100 sessions total. Foundation exercises, the first 14 that remains unchanged, that is the first 14. Just we have increased the number of sectional exercises. So in the foundation exercises, so this is the important part. Both of you are aware of it, but just let me explain this a little bit. If you have any doubts regarding what to do in the exercises, please make that clear. Okay, both of you. So we'll have, as I said, I mentioned this earlier, so there will be 14 exercises in total under foundation exercises. 7 of them will be on read and comprehend, and 7 of them will be on reasoning ability. So we call the exercises connect the dots. I'll come back to that. But each exercise will have a similar kind of thing to do for each type of exercise. For example, in the read and comprehend one second. In this read and comprehend one, for each of the exercise, you will be having 5 passages. In each exercise sheet, you will have 5 passages. For each passage, first and foremost, what you have to do is you have to understand the gist of each paragraph. And when I say gist, it should be as gisty as possible. I don't know whether that is a word or not. But jitna chota ho sakta hai, samajh rahe ho baat ko? Jitna precisely you can say, so that you don't have to remember a lot of things. So it's basically a memory exercise, but also a summary exercise. So as I said, for each paragraph, you have to create a sort of a gist in your mind. This is what basically the paragraph is talking about. This is what basically this paragraph is talking about. So when you're creating that summaries of the paragraph, automatically in your mind, there should be a flow that is happening, right? See, so how the author is progressing the paragraph through, the passage through the paragraphs, something like that. So how the flow is happening, how the weave has happened, how it has been stitched in, something like that. And also that should give rise to some ideas regarding the main context of the passage. If possible, let's say the tone of the author, what kind of passage is this? And some sort of understanding related to your comfortability, because that is, as I said, I mean, you have to keep judging that. I mean, whether you were comfortable reading that or not. So think about those kind of things that should come up in the discussions. As I said, these will be the live sessions, will be all discussions. So if you have done these exercises properly, you will have things to talk about in those discussions. So this is about the read and comprehend. So you'll have 5 passages in each exercise. For each of the passage, you have to do these activities. Both of you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Clear, right? Great. So moving on. Those who are watching the recording, if you have any doubts, just raise it in the discussion tab itself. I'll address them. The other 7 exercises that will be conducted under this group will be based on developing the reasoning our reasoning ability. So we are calling them connect the dots. There's a reason behind that. You'll be given 5 puzzles on each exercise sheet. So for each exercise sheet, you'll have 5 puzzles. For each of the puzzle, you have to understand the information, obviously. So first step is comprehension. You have to understand what it has been given. You have to understand each and every point, each and every statement, each and every sentence accurately. You cannot miscomprehend it. Then to kharabi ho gaya, matlab you're done for, right? So you have to understand each and everything properly, obviously. The comprehension has to be, paid attention to in this also. Over and above that, see, whenever you are solving a puzzle, even if the question is not given, you should be able to understand the type of information that is provided. Inko connect karke, what can I figure out? So what are we trying to solve for? That should automatically come as a question to you. So that is the reason for which we are not giving any question to any of the puzzles. So you'll be given the puzzle itself, the information set as it is of the puzzle, but no questions to it. You have to figure out what that is the first thing you have to figure out. I mean, what do we actually have to solve here, depending on what information has been given. Is this much clear to both of you? First and foremost,
we have to solve. I think we have to. I mean, we have to solve the entire.
you have to solve
the entire with all the detail. I mean, how much we can solve that we have to do like that, right? I mean,
yeah.
So questions will be there.
So let's take an arbitrary example. Okay. Suppose there's a puzzle given that it's talking about, let's say, 5 friends who went to a multiplex on different timings to watch 5 different movies. Okay, Pranav?
Okay.
So as soon as I said this, in your mind, something happened, right? Something interesting happened. You already have the answer to what are we trying to solve for, isn't it?
Yeah.
So are you getting my point? So you don't need questions always. So I'm saying sometimes, depending on the puzzle, sometimes what might happen is, as I gave an example, in the first sentence itself, you would be able to have a rough idea what are we trying to solve for, right?
Yeah. I mean, what is the end result? I mean, what's the answer?
It might be that after reading a while, you will be able to understand, oh, acha, so this is what we are trying to solve for, something like that, right? But at one point, you should get a picture, right? What are we solving for? Are you getting my point? Not that what the questions are. So why am I trying? Why am I asking you to do it in this way? See, when you are in the LR-TI section of CAT, and especially the LR kind of sites, which are much more in percentage any which way. So the LR kind of sets, what do you have? You have you have to completely solve the set and then move to the questions, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So when you are actually interpreting the information, you are not looking at the questions to understand what should be the sort of connections we are trying to establish, right? Or
actually, it's like what answer we need to arrive at, right? I mean, what
sort of connections we have to establish. That is the thing, right? So remember, 5 friends going to watch the 5 different movies in 5 different times, right? So connections, right? One important thing from an LR perspective, if you want to improve your LR solving skills, you have to work on the visual approach. If your visual approach is cleaner, as clean as you can, but focused on the precise things, depending on what you are trying to solve for, because that is the objective, right? What we are trying to solve for. As soon as you get that, you should be able to understand what should be the best visual approach as well. Are you getting my point? What do you mean by visual approach is those data collection tools, right? Whether you're collecting linear arrangement, circular arrangement, table arrangement, any modified of that, whatever it is, right? Both of you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so basically, as the name suggests, connect the dots. So basically, treat the dots as information. So connect the information. So whatever information will be provided in each of the puzzles, you have to understand first and foremost, based on those information, what could we solve? Because if you can understand what could we solve, that is what we're ideally solving for, isn't it? So just try to get that. So once you get that, again, approach it, finish it. So if you can solve it, solve as much as you can. Okay? Did I make myself clear, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you have to do it for each puzzle, right? So for the foundation exercises, the first 14 exercises, I mean, this will alternate between these two. I think the first one will be connect the dots. So everybody first will launch it. And as I mentioned this earlier also, this point as well, I'm just re-mentioning this. For each session, the exercise sheet will launch one day prior, right? So we'll have the live sessions on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays. The sheet will launch one day prior. That's on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Friday, respectively, early morning. So you have enough time to try them out. So do try them out properly so that you can contribute to the discussion and obviously from your learning point of view I'm talking about. So this will be the first 14 sessions. It will spill a little into March. I think the first week of March or first two sessions of March tak jayega, and then we will move to the sectional exercises. Sectional exercises are very simple. It will just keep cyclically rotating between QA, LRDI, VRC, QA, LRDI, VRC, and so on. And almost every area will be touched upon relevant to CAT and OMETs regarding these sections. So that will start off from the second week of March or so, and it will continue till end of September. So if you have any questions at this point of time that you want to clarify. So that's it from my end. Thank you for joining short session today. February 2nd. See you all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Take care, guys. Good night.
Good night, sir.